I see we have a new person in our midst, Audrey Bitts. Welcome to Pimp Your Post Thursday.
Welcome, Miss Audrey. She is from the Welcome Wagon. She is one of our current trainees. We were working on her microphone issues today, and I think she'll be presenting via text later on.
Okay, I recognize the name from the post y'all shared this morning. It's awesome that you got her in here.
We are now live.
Okay, thank you, Snook. Just one more second and I'll be ready to roll here. Okay, hello and welcome to Pimp Your Post Thursday, one of the first curation shows on Discord, if not the first. I am the Kitty Girl, your hostess for today's shows, the creator of Pimp Your Post Thursday and founder of the Steam It Ramble, Shadows Pub, is attending to a personal matter today, and we wish her well. For those who are new to Pimp Your Post Thursday, we take turns presenting posts. Place the Pimp Your Post Thursday emoji into the chat to indicate that you wish to be added to the queue, and it will be acknowledged with the Steam It Ramble emoji when you are added. And I will drop a graphic into the chat now. So everyone can see what that looks like.
Yeah.
You will be called when it is your turn. We prefer that you come onto voice to present your post, but if that is not possible, please type a few lines ahead of time that you can quickly paste into the chat with your link. After presenting your post, you're welcome to re-enter the queue if you have another post to present, but please allow others time to get into the queue as well. We also ask that you support the others who are presenting posts with upvotes and or comments. It is only fair that if you are getting support that you return the favor to the other presenters. Also, I'd like to point out that there is a giveaway running in the giveaway channel, which is right above the PYPT and voice chat text channel. You won't be able to post in that channel, but you will see a giveaway running. There's a little reaction emoji underneath it. All you need to do is to click that reaction emoji, and you will be added to the queue for the contest drawing. Okay, and looks like Bluefin Studios wants to go first. So, Bluefin, you are up and running.
Good evening, and awesome job for stepping up this morning. Fantastic. Thank you, Kitty Girl, for everything you've been doing. Shadows sends her love. She is, as Kitty Girl said, off on a personal matter, but she sends her love and wishes us all well. So this is a post that I discussed earlier this morning. It's a little bit of a lighter post. As some of you may know or not know, I have a bunch of stuff in my garden, and one of them is this tiny little raspberry bush that I planted a few years back and has gone from a little tiny thing to now the size of 3 or so bureaus. And again, I was out there today picking more. I probably get about a pint or so of red raspberries a day. But at some point, you run out of how do you eat them all and how do you get through them all. So just a quick little recipe that on how I make my Chambord, my version of Chambord, which is a red raspberry liqueur. So here's a little bit of a recipe for you guys to go and grab some pointers if you want to make your own.
Only catch is if you share the recipe, you won't be rich and famous.
Well, that's true. And just so you know, I think I put a little bit less sugar than most people do. I like it tart and less sweet. So it's not as sweet as some of the Chambord, some of the brand name Chambord, but I do love how mine comes out. Should come out just perfect for Thanksgiving for some desserts. I can drizzle it on some chocolate. I'm a big fan of nibbling on some chocolate.
Well, I definitely love raspberry and chocolate. That is awesome. And yeah, I might actually try this recipe if I can get a hold of some raspberries. Can't get them fresh down here, though, like you can up there. All right, I would like to also do something here I meant to do at the beginning of the show and didn't have the link handy. But Shadows Pub, the creator of this Discord and the usual hostess of the Pimp Your Post Thursday show, seldom presents her own posts. So I would like everyone to take a peek at this post. It is about bravery, and I think she has done a wonderful job writing it. There's some very thought-provoking content in there. And like I said this morning, if your voting power is low, she appreciates comments too. I think sometimes she would just as soon have 10 comments as she would 20 upvotes. So, yeah, engage with Shadows a little bit and let her know that you appreciate her. She's definitely a good writer and a fabulous person too. So, okay, thank you, Bluefin, for your presentation. Next up on the list is Movement 19. What do you have for us today?
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're coming in loud and clear.
Okay, very well. Let me do my little copy and pasting. So I hope everyone's well. Sorry I missed you all this morning. I usually try to pop in twice on Thursdays, but I've been dealing with some personal things as well. So I'm kind of going to just post and run. I mean, I'll listen to the rest of the show, but probably won't be so active. I got some stuff going on over here at the house. But this is I'm back on the air. I think I mentioned last week that I'm back from hiatus and I'm back on the regular schedule. So I'm again in Steam Music Alliance doing a couple of weekly music shows. A slightly different schedule. It's Tuesdays and Wednesdays now at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So this is last night's show. I always provide a D-Sound link with a full track list for everybody because I know everybody can't make it. There's a lot of stuff going on around Discord. I try to juggle, my schedule around all the shows and things I like to promote, but it's impossible to get it perfect. So that's a good thing we have D-Sound, right?
Absolutely. We have so many shows going on, it gets crazy and confusing sometimes to keep up with them all.
Yeah. Hey, Katrina, how you doing? So yeah, thanks again for you guys are awesome. I mentioned I've been announcing PYPT on my MSP shows because I really love what you guys do, and I purposely left my Thursdays open, so I will be able to pop in at least once on Thursdays from now on.
Well, thank you very much for Pimp Your Post Thursday on MSP. That is awesome. It is appreciated for sure.
Heck yeah, I love you guys. You definitely got my support.
How many people do you usually have in your show?
It varies. I'm the first show of the week on Mondays, so it's it floats between like 10 to 30 people, not as much as like a Friday show. But I'm starting a show on Fridays now in between Pensif's Alternative Lifestyle Show and the Chaos Show with Globo at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is actually a great slot. So I imagine that's going to be a pretty hefty audience.
Awesome. We'll definitely come back and keep us informed of that.
For sure. I will.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Movement 19. And next up on the list is Pita Raven. What do you have for us this evening? I guess I should quit saying this evening, too, because it's not evening in some places. Pita,
No.
if you can hear me, we cannot hear you. Maybe you need to exit the voice channel and pop back in.
He's muted. Is he on?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now.
Yay.
Yeah, I was just
I'm
checking to see if you were server muted for some reason. You weren't, so I'm glad you're out.
I'm taking Snook's advice and just mashing buttons.
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
did.
whatever button you mashed, it worked.
Yeah, so good morning, everyone. Yeah. So what I'm sharing today is a little piece I wrote. It's actually, I wrote it back in either May or June, but it was when we took a trip up to Uluru or Ayers Rock in Central Australia. It's the second time I've been there, and honestly, if you ever come, no, please come to Australia. Don't if when you come to Australia, you have to go to Central Australia, and you have to go to Uluru and that whole central area. It is stunning. It is amazing. It is beautiful. It will move you in ways that like a landscape can never move you. I don't know what it is. I've been to the Badlands and in South Dakota and the Midwest of the US and the Rockies and the Grand Tetons, and I've been to the Himalaya in Nepal. Stunning places, but Uluru is something else. So this was written kind of over a couple of days, like in my journal, like on the spot, and then I sort of put it together, I don't know, I think when I came back and I had internet. And it was originally published on Medium, but I've pretty much taken all my stuff off Medium. It's really not a platform that really is. It's great for reading, but not for writing. I don't know why, but yeah, this is what it is. It is a reflection. It is just a pure sort of travelogue kind of post, and just something about that country, which, as I said, I've been there twice now. I took my partner there for her birthday this year. Yeah, I was saying to someone yesterday, if I could move there, I would. It's just amazing land. It really is. So, yeah, that's what I want to share with everyone, because it is stunning. So please come down, check it out yourselves.
Well, it's rather interesting that that you're sharing this, because just this morning, Cross County Traveler shared a post with us about Red Rock Canyon in Oklahoma that has red sandstone rock, and that made Jack Miller, who was from Australia, think about Uluru, however you say it. I'm putting an accent on a different syllable, I think, than you did. But anyway, he shared a picture of that this morning, and that's really cool that that you came in tonight with this post. I'm anxious to read that.
Yeah, and the photos, they're all my photos, and I've tried to give the landscape justice with me and my iPhone, and I'm not a photographer in any way, shape, or form. So I'm getting my partner to teach me. She's a great photographer. I'm trying to get her to teach me how to do stuff. So yeah. Red Rock, I think they have a lot of concerts in that. I think is that right?
She said no, that there is another canyon where they do concerts, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there was discussion about that place and another place, and I know one of them did concerts, the other didn't.
Yeah, Red Rock, Colorado. Red Rock is very famous for their concerts.
Okay, so Red Rock in Colorado does, but Red Rock in Oklahoma does not. Okay, thanks for clearing that up, Bluepin.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, because a lot of great bands do some great stuff at Red Rock.
And Peter Raven, I would like to mention one thing, too, that you might be interested in. If you want to keep posting to Medium, I have found a site that allows you to create a post very much like you do on Steemit. It's, in fact, I think it's basically the same editor, but it allows you to also post to Medium as well as Steemit.
Okay, that's very interesting. Because
there's the link in the chat if you want to check it out.
Thank you. I will do, because they stopped. Medium had a WordPress plugin so that you could you post on your own blog and it cross posts, and they've actually stopped supporting that. I don't understand this sort of where these big sites are stopping these sort of third-party plugin things. It's just getting ridiculous, actually.
What? Oh, I
Well,
opened
there
up a
is one
window.
called Steam Press. It is a plugin for WordPress that also posts the Steam blockchain. So you might check into that as well.
Yeah, I use that at the moment. That's what I'm using. It's great. I love it. Hey, and what's this about? A slightly non sequitur, but DLive is moving off the Steam blockchain. I just saw as I logged in today.
That is absolutely correct. They're going to another blockchain that I'd never even heard of before.
Lino.
Lino, yes. And let me drop the post in the chat here for anyone who's interested in reading that. Snook beat me to it by half a second. Yeah, so DLive is moving to the Lino blockchain, away from the Steam blockchain.
Ramifications? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I skimmed their article. I read the first 2 or 3 paragraphs in detail, but I kind of skimmed the rest of it, so I'll reserve any comment till after I get back to it and read it in more depth. Okay, well, thank you, Peter. I do appreciate your post, and I'm looking forward to reading about that. And Audrey Bitts, you are up next, if you would like to present your post.
I'm going to read out for Audrey Bitts. Can you remember the number of times you have stopped yourself from doing something simply because you feel you're just not good at it? Whether it's a hobby or even something bigger, I believe we've all found ourselves in that state at some point. But really, we don't have to be good at it before we are enjoying doing it. If you could go and give us a little read, it's from our wonderful little Audrey, one of our trainees over at the Welcome Wagon. It's her first time coming over here to play. And give her a read and spread a little commenting love. And maybe an upvote or two if you think of it.
Fantastic. Thank you for presenting for her, Bluefin. And Audrey, since you presented your post in text for us tonight, you have earned your Pimp Your Post Thursday attendee role, and all of your typing now, your name will appear in blue. So welcome to the group. So everybody, go give this Welcome Wagon person a little bit of love on her post. That looks awesome. I'm just looking at that crazy icon that came up in the chat, that emoji that's jumping all around. That's something deranged.
It looks very deranged.
Yeah, deranged emoji coming from deranged visions. And there's a little bit of chat text that Mandel Sage posted in the chat. The main reason why DLive is leaving. I'll just leave that up to everyone to kind of scan that on your own. And then, meanwhile, next up is Snook. What do you have for us tonight?
This is that Steam and Me, 5 questions answered. Hold on one sec. All right, I'm posting it again tonight because I really think, well, there's a couple people I tagged in it that are in here, but if I didn't tag you and you haven't done it, I would really highly suggest that you do, because I really learned a lot about what I think of Steam, in the platform, and what is really important to me by doing this. So it's, the other challenges are you can make light of a lot of stuff. And I usually go with the funny side of things. Where this one, it really drew me in and made me really think, and uh, you know, it's all very honest answers in there. So, and I figure if that can do that for me, the people that are more serious than I would probably get even more out of it. So, just spreading the word again.
Yes, and these challenges are really good too because it gives all of us a fairly easy post that we can write. We don't have to go do research because everything is coming from inside ourselves. We're able to write our opinions, our thoughts, and it's a way for us to learn about each other. So challenges are really good too. And then, like Snook said, she learned a little bit about herself, what her deep feelings about STEAM were. So that's really awesome.
Well, and how they've changed. I mean, in a couple days I'll be here a year, and so now I don't really have to write a year post either, because it pretty much says it all right there. I mean, what I learned in a year, and what it made me really think about what now after a year it became the really important things. So like I said, I learned a lot by it, which you know is is saying a lot.
Well, now my first STEAM anniversary is coming up too on Tuesday, the 25th. When is your day?
I gotta go look. I don't know.
Oh, that's pretty cool that we came on about the same time. Fantastic.
Yeah, I gotta go look now.
Yeah, I've already got a. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say I only came on a month before y'all. So we're all around the same time.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I also have a post that I'm going to drop. It's almost ready to go, but I'm going to hold it till the 25th and post it then about my STEAM anniversary. And there's going to be a contest in that post that I think is unlike any other contest that I've seen on the Steam platform so far. Um, so, yeah, it gives so everybody can have something to look forward to there.
Well, it says 5 more days, which I count would be the 25th.
Oh my gosh, we came on the same day.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, how about that? That is really amazing.
I wonder if they scheduled a hard fork that day on purpose because of you two.
It could have been. I know I signed up and it took me, because some girl signed up, and then it took her 2 days to make me sign up, but then I had to wait like 2 days before it would let me on.
Well, now I signed up or requested my account on the 24th, and I heard back from them within 24 hours on the 25th. So I guess the 25th is one of the days that they came through and approved a bunch of people.
Yeah, it must have been. Because yeah, she got approved like in 12 hours. So then, and then it took, like I said, 2 days or whatever. And then it took well, at least 2 days before I got approved.
Well, that's really cool that we all came on the same day. I think that's awesome. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Snook. All right, next up on the list is Mandel Sage. What do you have for us this evening, Mandel Sage?
Hi, everyone. Okay, so I don't know if... Oh, first of all, I wanted to say sorry because I haven't been around the last 2 weeks. I haven't gotten onto PYPT because both Thursdays I was otherwise occupied. But yeah, glad to be back on the show. And yeah, this post is... I don't know if you remember, a while ago I posted the very first one that I did, the first chapter of the story, where it's a sort of light fantasy story, which might actually end up being not so light as we go. And at the end of each chapter, you're given a choice as a reader to decide what the main character does. And then we're doing it so that we've pre-programmed the links so that we know, so that they will work, because obviously we can't write everything in advance. And then you can click on either, to go left or right, whatever you want to decide the character shall do, just like the old choose your own adventure books that I used to read. And so this is chapter 4. So what happened is I did the first one, and then Poetic Snake and Anya Aram did the next 2. And then we kind of took long to get the next 4 out. That is the 2 options for each of those chapters, because Sneki had to stop. She decided she wouldn't be able to do it. So then Anya and I decided that we were just going to continue by ourselves. And so we are now publishing these next 4, as in the options for the 2 that were published last week. And that's the 4th one there. It's
Well, last week both Anya and Sneki came in here, and they pimped posts from that series, so it was well represented, even though you weren't here.
Okay, excellent. Yes, at that stage I think we were still considering getting a third one to getting a new third person to join us. But then, as Anya and I were talking and discussing the plot and developing characters, we realized that we were onto something that could possibly be really big, and our ideas seemed to sync really nicely. And then we suddenly didn't like the idea of having a third person coming in and interfering with our well thought out plot. So we're just doing it now, the 2 of us.
Well, I think it is a very creative and fantastic thing that you're bringing to the blockchain, definitely. And for those who want to start at chapter 1, like Peter Raven, there's the link to the post where you can find chapter 1 and begin reading from there. That is awesome. So kudos, Ramble Sage, for coming up with this idea, you and your crew. That is awesome.
Thank you very much. I really do. I'm quite excited about it, and we'll see what happens. Oh, and you guys have to check out Anya Aram's blog as well. She is a writer and an artist. She's got she studied both of them in university, and she'll be doing a lot of the drawings for the book as well. So because that's the thing, we're posting to the blockchain now, but depending on what happens, we might want to try our hand at, once it's done, editing everything again, and Anya will do drawings, and then we'll try and maybe get it published on Amazon as well.
Well, we are familiar with Anya. Actually, the Hive brought her to my attention. He just DM'd me one night and said, "Hey, there's somebody here you need to go check out." And I looked at her posts. I was very impressed with the drawing and a bit of satire she wrote, and we sent invites to her to join us in the Pimp Your Post Thursday here, and she came in for the last couple of weeks. She's been in here. She's too shy to share her own work, though, so I actually last week had to share one of her pieces for her, but hey, she's really cool. We're glad to have her around.
Yeah, she is quite shy when it comes to her stuff, it's true. But yes, indeed, she's really nice. She and I get on really well, and it's really looking forward to seeing what happens.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Mandel Sage. And next up on the list is Deranged Visions. What do you have for us, Deranged?
Mic check, mic check.
You're coming in very clearly.
All right, so this is a post I put together for Surpassing Google. I was talking to him this morning, and he's not doing very good. Is the post popping up? I don't know. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with what's going on with him, but his father, his health is declining. And then I just found out that his own health, that's probably why it wasn't steamit.com. His own health, Terry's own health isn't doing very good. And a few months ago, probably about 2 months ago, I think. He made a post in the Steam Gigs Discord to us all that he was having problems with depression and everything. And that's why we haven't seen him or heard from him on the normal Saturday shows or anything. And but he's continued to support everybody, all the U-logs and everything in the background. But recently his delegation got pulled when Ned pulled like all delegations. And so when I was talking to him today, I found out how much it costs for his father's medicine. It's about $50 a day, $50 US a day. And in the Philippines, you can just imagine, I guess, how much that would be. But so what I'm doing is trying to raise funds to send him. I wish the value of Steam was a little bit higher. Yeah, probably $50 gajillion. But I want to raise funds to try to get him a little bit to ease the cost of what he has to pay for his father, and try to get his own health. Because I'm sure a lot of why his own health is declining is just stressing over how to help his dad. But so I'm donating all the rewards from the post straight to him. I'm going to be donating a little bit extra to him as well. And if you can donate straight to him, I talked to him and he said he's fine with other people doing this as well and donating to him. He was hesitant at first about people making posts like this. But like I told him that like he's done so much for the community as a whole here on Steam, and I don't know many people here on the platform that have done more for basically humanity around the world on the Steam platform other than him. So I think this is a time for everybody on the platform to come together for him and show support to him, because he's done so much for everybody else selflessly, and I think it'd be good for everybody to show their support back. And it would be awesome if he can get some delegation back somehow. I don't know why Ned took delegation from everybody, but it was all delegation was pulled on the same day. But if any big people out there could pull or give delegation to him, because it supports everybody on the platform, really. But if you guys don't know what U-logs are, it basically gives people a voice on the platform and gives them something to post on every day and earn something. And it keeps what it's done is it's cut back on a lot of the scamming and
Plagiarism.
Yeah, plagiarism, that's the word. My brain went blank. But plagiarism and stuff on the platform, because a lot of the people that he helps are people in countries that use this platform as like a means to survive. And so the U-logs gave those people a voice, and when that delegation was pulled, it hurt a lot of people. So if there was a way to get the delegation back to him to support that community, it would also help him with his own health and with his father and everything. So
One of the things I do want to say about that delegation is that Utopian O or whatever it is, got theirs pulled on the same day. And what Eco Instant said is that they said, fine, then we're leaving. And within 2 hours, they got the delegation back. So,
That's shady as fuck.
yeah.
I mean, that ain't right.
No. So he's not one to beg. He's not one to, I mean, if people ask about his health, he tells you about his health, but he's not one to, you know, he's not going to go say, I need it back. He's just not. So,
well, and he's not going to threaten to leave either because he's built up
exactly.
a huge. If he leaves, like he would be leaving a huge group of people that like rely on him, and he's built a website around these people, and like he's done so much for so many people on the platform that he would never turn his back on anybody.
No, I mean, but what I'm saying is that, you know, somebody, a whole community got their delegation back in 3 hours by saying, you know, by complaining that they were going to leave, which isn't, you know, it's just one of those how the world works crappy things. Because wouldn't do that. But it doesn't make, yes, life's not fair, but this is really not fair, what they did.
Yeah,
and
considering how much good Surpassing Google does, it's such a shame that his delegation was pulled. He's done so much for people all over the blockchain, but especially people in the Philippines and Nigeria and Indonesia and places like that. He's given so much support and encouragement to everyone that he's one of the first people that should have been kept on the list to keep the delegation, I think.
Yeah, and so I don't know how to reach out to BidBot owners, but like one thing I had talked about in the post is like voting power recharges. 2% of your voting power is what it costs for an upvote, and 2 hours 25 minutes is all it takes to recharge. So I know BidBot owners make a lot of money for each 2% of their voting power, but somebody had made a comment on the post that this is what needs to be on trending, and because like Surpassing Google has done, I don't know, he's done so much. He's done more than anybody that I know of on the platform. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he is a witness too, the Steam Gigs witness. And so he's continuing with that, and that's out of his own pocket as well.
Well, I really appreciate your bringing this up to our attention. I knew his father was in poor health, but I had no clue that the medication was costing $50 a day. That is insane. And I had no clue that that Surpassing Google is having his own issues with depression and such. And it's such a shame. He's such a light of positivity on the blockchain. It's a shame that he's got that issue too. But yeah, so everybody please consider going out there and at least upvoting this post to put a little bit more money in Terry's pocket. And if you've got any loose SBD or Steam rattling around your wallet, you know, it wouldn't hurt to send a little over.
Not just that, like you can make your own post as well and call out people for delegations, stuff like that. He needs delegations if it's not just from Ned, but for the whole ULOG community. Like that's who is hurt mainly when Ned pulled the delegation from him. But as I was talking to Surpassing Google today, like I could sense he's broken right now, and I don't know. He needs the community that he's helped. He needs them to help him.
How much was the delegation?
I don't remember, but I think it was close to 1 million SP.
That's one of the most sizable delegations I think I've ever heard.
Well, he was the one that originally he got, they handed out a whole bunch of delegations like a long time ago. And then people were selling their votes that got these huge delegations. But he was actually using it for people, which is why he originally got to keep that delegation when everybody else lost theirs because they were vote selling. So at the time, whoever was in charge of pulling that amount of delegation um, they recognized him for what he was doing for the community, and he got to keep his. So that is why it amazes me that they didn't do that again this time, but they obviously didn't. But yet, again, Utopian, or whatever the heck it's called, complains, and then they get to keep theirs in 3 hours. They got it back.
Yeah, it's utopian.io. Yeah.
Yeah.
So surpassing Google's delegation was 509,000, and Utopian's was about double that. It was actually exactly double that.
So that even is more sucky.
I don't even know what Utopian does. I think they help projects, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
But Ned actually helps people, and that's what shows the real power of the blockchain, in my opinion. Is that this platform can change people's lives, and actually, like, cryptocurrency can be used worldwide to change people and give them freedom and stuff. Like with what's going on in Venezuela, like people are living off of Steam, and people in Nigeria are building communities around Steam and Steam It and everything, and coming together, and they live off of this stuff. But the thing is, like, that the humanity side of the platform doesn't matter to the investors.
Yeah, that's very true.
And that's one thing I'm hoping to bring up at Steamfest when I'm there. So because I want to show people, like, the real impact that this platform has on people, and not just the impact that it has on their wallet that they get with their stupid curation rewards and all that other crap.
If people stopped teasing him about his hair, maybe he wouldn't be so mad and pulling everybody's delegation. I'm just kidding.
Actually, I was really glad I did that post after that. Anyway, should admit it, but I am.
Well, thank you very much, Deranged, for bringing this news to us. And yeah, let's see what we can do for surpassing Google. That is wonderful. That is, yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, that we're getting this kind of news in here. That this is fantastic. Yeah, greatly appreciated. Okay, next up we have Katrina Ariel.
Okay, can you hear me?
Coming in loud and clear.
Lovely. Thought I'd check before I started talking forever. I can gush over this puppy. Oh, if my life were different, I'd be flying a pup to Canada. But Tark has a whole bunch of dogs that are up for adoption, and Rhonda's been posting them on the Tark account. This one is like the cuteness overload. Oh my goodness. And I love black dogs. But I would love to see... This post actually got a sizable vote, I think, from Foundation. I would love to see some of the other posts being supported or re-steamed. This one's a really easy one to re-steam because, oh my gosh, she's so cute. But yeah, Rhonda has a lot of dogs that she's looking for homes for, and looking for support in helping them find homes and getting them to the rescue that she works with in New England to help them find homes there. So any support that you can lend her and the animals is wonderful. And this one's a real easy one to do it on. Even just a comment, like, the amount of work that the woman does blows my mind. So encouragement is always helpful for human perseverance.
I took her Foundation posts and posted it on Facebook, and there was a couple of ladies that were gonna, because they had to sign in and all that, they were just gonna send it right to her.
I actually sent her just PayPal. I mean, you can always do that too.
Yeah.
Fiat works real well.
And for those that aren't familiar with TARC, that is the Tazewell animal rescue coalition located in Virginia, but they do a lot of good for a huge region there around them. They bring in animals that are abandoned or abused, and they feed them. They take care of their veterinary needs, and they try to rehome them to forever homes. And yeah, that is an adorable little pup. Oh my goodness, how sweet a face. So and besides sending donations to TARC, another way you can support them is if you do any shopping on Amazon.com. What you do is you do your shopping, and before you check out, switch over to smile.amazon.com, and you can designate TARC, T-A-R-C, as a beneficiary, and it will not cost you any additional money, but Amazon will donate a small percentage of their profit on that purchase to TARC. So it's a great way to help. So how many dogs are you smuggling to Canada, Katrina?
None. I would absolutely. Well, I don't know. If that pup was closer to me, I'd be in real trouble. But my lifestyle does not allow for dogs right now.
Okay, that's great. Well, thank you for bringing this adorable little pooch and TARC to the front lines tonight. That's really great. Okay, next up we have the Hive. So what are you going to dazzle us with, Jan?
Well, this is a post I pimped out this morning, so I won't spend too much time on it. Well, basically, I'm highlighting a few of the things that I see as wrong in the world or society today. All the things that are listed there are other things I have seen people say are wrong in society too. So I just made a list of them, wrote a little bit about it, and I'm going to do a little series on it and go through each individual section and write a post about it over a bit of time.
Okay, a lot of good food for thought in that post, folks. You need to go check it out for sure. And this is going to be a series of posts, correct, Hive? You're going to take each little section that you had and break it down?
Yeah, I've done one on the government so far, and I'm getting my head now into the banks, thinking about the banks. And then after I do that one, I'll move to the next little subsection and carry on from there.
Okay, that is awesome. Well, thank you. And Bluefin Studios, you're back up. What do you have for us besides raspberries?
Well, first off, thanks for hosting again. If I could remind people, the giveaway is running currently. So anybody who has not entered, go over to the giveaway channel, which is just above voice chat, and give a quick click. You can't really post anything. You can't really comment in there. Just click on the icon right below the giveaway. There's like a little celebration thing below it. Click on that. And here's my link I'm pimping. I have a friend who brought me over to Steam it, and so I thought I would pimp her post. Her name is the Kitty Girl, and if she could perhaps voice in here and tell us a little bit more about her post.
Well, I appreciate your bringing that up. Thank you. Well, I've never really considered myself much of a coin collector, but I do have a few coins that I kept from long ago, like a couple of buffalo nickels and wheat leaf pennies. I was also given a silver dollar when I was born by a friend of the family, but I entered a raffle 2 or 3 weeks ago on the Steam blockchain where you just put in a few Steam and you could win a prize, and I actually won a little silver bar that was 1 troy ounce of silver, and that kind of was a surprise to me because I don't win very many things, and I was sharing the joy of winning that prize, with some people in the Alliance, and they told me that, well, sometimes you can find some good stuff on eBay, so I went out and and looked on eBay and found an estate sale, and I put in a bid on it, and I won a little bag of goodies, including some old dimes and such, that are like 90% silver back in the days when our coinage used to actually be worth something. And so that kind of got me onto a little bit of a stacking binge, and then I actually bought another piece for myself as an early birthday present, and so that's kind of gotten me into the stacking game. But thank you, Bluefin, for bringing that up. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Deranged, for offering to help out with a little extra SBI on the giveaway. I appreciate that.
No problem.
What was I just gonna say? Rats.
Yeah, that is appreciated, Deranged. Thank you. Very, very generous of you.
Also that Ethan D. Smith is our primary sponsor for the giveaway tonight. Go take a look at the link that he put in there.
Yes, we definitely need to support Ethan. He's been donating for several weeks now to help us with this giveaway, and it's pretty awesome of him to do that. Okay, thank you again, Bluefin. And Sarge, you were up next.
He's in the middle of playing cards.
That's okay. It looks like a break in the action here. I just folded. But anyway, this is the extension of the contest I was holding last week, and there wasn't any participation. So I went ahead and extended it, which I guess made a lot of people happy because it got a lot of votes. So now I just need to look for the entries and then see if I can get somebody from Team Good to help me look at the entries, and we could have a consensus on a winner for the Gold Foil Steam Monster Cobalt Miner, which is, of course, well, it's not rare, but it is an alpha card, so there you go. And the rules are easy. It's gold, and I know Andrew Whitty, he's very big on the Steam of the Monsters, and, maybe he could tell people enter the contest. It's very easy. The rules, I mean, no following up vote of the post or anything, so they can save their votes. The only thing that I ask in there, the rules are listed, is to upvote not upvote, but follow 7 different accounts. So, which are all good accounts, curating accounts like, the Steam at Ramble, and stuff like that. So it's more of a promotion post for everybody, to kind of get their names out there. I've got some people tagged within the post, get their names out there and stuff. So, and that's what I'm good at, and that's what I like to do. I like to promote people most of the time. So there you are, the contest for the Gold Cobalt Miner card.
Yeah, and for those not familiar with it, Steam Monsters is a card game that is being developed on the Steam blockchain. I have never played the game called Yu-Gi-Oh, but I've heard that it's rather similar to that in the way the game will proceed. But the alpha cards, especially the ones that are gold foil, are definitely picking up value. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard somebody say they sold a gold foil recently for $400. And if that's true, then this card, it would be a good investment for anyone interested, especially somebody who is going to be in the Steam Monsters game.
Well, you can use
I used to play the crap out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Not that I initially sought out Yu-Gi-Oh! Because, it was like the hot thing, but my boys, when they was like 9 and 10, they were like, oh yeah, we want Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. And I'm like, alright, cool, I'll get you some Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. And they're like, Dad, play with us. And I'm like, oh, okay, how do you play? And so, yeah, I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! I got a pretty massive collection of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards.
That's pretty funny. Did you ever get into Magic the Gathering as well?
I do have several of those, actually, from way back when, which is what kind of made it easy for me to play with my boys.
It's amazing what we get sucked into when we have kids.
Right? Oh my gosh.
So are you into Magic the Gathering, Mandel Sage?
Oh, I was like at the end of high school, but just very briefly because, well, life happened, and also I slowly discovered that it was getting more and more expensive to be to keep up and stay competitive in the game. It's also a very, very complicated game. The guidebook is it's I had the guidebook as A4 size, the pages, and about, I don't know, like 3 fingers thick. It was crazy. So yeah, unfortunately, I lost my cards because I think they'd be worth quite a lot now, at least some of them.
Yeah, I actually know some people that are in their 30s, late 30s too, that still play Magic the Gathering on a fairly regular basis. So,
Oh yeah, it's not actually a kid's game really. The rules just make it so difficult to get into. Right now, I just stick to Hearthstone. Hearthstone is a Blizzard's card game.
and I see Katrina is showing her wild side. She was too busy riding motorcycles and playing spades and poker to do Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh. That's cool. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for that presentation, Sarge. And I do hope folks will go enter that contest and win that card. Give Sarge some stuff to look at. Okay, Snook, you're back up.
This is a post that I did about GIMP again. I was looking for, well, I needed to relax again. And so I was talking to a friend and I wanted to make something for them. So this just shows how I went about doing it. But then I've been thinking I might do like more of like a tool tutorial because Sass was saying that she still didn't understand what I was talking about. So that's kind of in the back of my mind. So that if someone's just starting out and really doesn't know, but because it's not that hard, and you just have to have the guts to play, you know.
Well, I really like that picture that comes up in the preview. That pretty aqua and indigo hues. That's really lovely.
Yeah, so it started out with 2 separate pictures, one of the eagle and one of the wolf, that I found on Google that I could reuse without having to, do all that fun stuff. And then it shows how I erased the backgrounds and put them together and made a new background and all that.
That's fantastic. It's really awesome how many creative people we've got here, and you're definitely one of the most creative.
Oh.
I think Snook and I could start a Steam-based GIMP fan club. She'd definitely be the president.
Well, I like it because it's free. I mean, I can't afford Photoshop and I can't afford Adobe Illustrator and I don't have a Mac, so I enjoy that it's free. I mean, quite honestly. I mean, I used to work on Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator on Macs years and years ago, but and then you don't have that job anymore. You have to pay for your own and you buy a PC because it's a lot cheaper.
Well, it is, and you can pretty much do, when you get good and you learn how to do it, you can pretty much do anything with GIMP that you can do with Photoshop.
Well, for what I need it for, yeah. Right. I mean, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Snook.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have Ingenuity.
Okay, so my dad's never been good at coming off with stuff. This is kind of a stacking post, kind of a touch the heart post, kind of a hey, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth post.
I'm gonna punch you in the mouth.
she punched me in the mouth.
Sissy punched me in the mouth.
That's what I was thinking about too when it was cracking me up at the time because they were kind of arguing while I was writing it. But anyway, yeah, my dad gave me this cool ring. He's been giving me stuff. It's kind of sad in a way because he knows his time is fast approaching. Like he can't feel his legs. Like you know how when your arm falls asleep, like his legs are like that all the time because he's got, what did he say? 3 discs are like really thin to where the bone is going. He thinks he's going to be paralyzed here in the next couple of years, or not completely paralyzed, but to the point where he's going to have to be in a wheelchair. Which is another reason I'm glad he's moving out here finally, back here, however you want to put that. He fitted his wedding band on me today before he left to North Carolina, and it's like, that's silver with diamonds and stuff, and then I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? And then you start talking about his will, and I don't know why I'm telling you all this boring, sad stuff, but yeah, I'll punch you in the mouth if you don't go vote on my post and leave me a good comment.
That's like the most serious picture I've ever seen of you. Well, almost ever seen it.
Almost, yeah. I can throw a few more out there if you like that. Oh, bad boy look thing. Punch you in the heart.
Be still, my heart.
Well, that really is an awesome ring. It's a wonderful design. I've never actually seen a coin put into a ring with such an unusual flair. I think it is really unique and fabulous.
Yeah, it is unique, and he's had it for like years, you know, and I always, you know, when I was little, you know, like 9 or 10, I'd put it on and it'd be so big it just fall right off my finger, you know, kind of thing. And now it fits. It's like tight on my finger, so yeah, growing a little bit, but it's silver, gold inlays, and it's got like turquoise around it and everything. It's really cool.
Well, that's fabulous, and there's nothing wrong with talking about the downside of the visit that you had. It's good to talk about things, and
yeah, but I'm
makes
like
you
this tough guy, you know. I'm not supposed to talk about that stuff. Be all sentimental and have feelings. I mean, come on.
Not with that picture up there.
Well, I don't think any less of your toughness. I don't feel any less of your toughness, you know, talking about that. In fact, I think being able to talk about things like that makes you more tough.
No, thank you.
Here.
No, just that post reminds me of his daughter hitting his other daughter in the mouth. That's
I remember that.
The joke comes in.
Yeah, if you saw the Panther optional episode.
Yeah.
That we did. Oh my god.
Oh yes. That's right.
Sissy punched me in the mouth.
All right. Well, thank you, Engine. And up next is Katrina Ariel.
Nice sunglasses.
Who what?
Nice sunglasses. What happened to them?
Which sunglasses?
Didn't you buy sunglasses and pimp them this morning?
I did. Yeah, I didn't. Yes, I did. Are you on that post now? That's you throwing me off because that's not the post I just dropped. That's all. But yeah, there are sunglasses in my latest open mic. The 5 questions eco instant. It'd be fun to see you do it. I tagged a ton of people, but I could have kept going. This was fun, like Snook said. It was really. It was like a little bit of a journey to look back at different moments in the past. I've been here for 9 months, and it sort of came at a nice moment for me to look back as well, because I just hit 60, which is hooray. Which all shows that if, thank you. But it all shows that if you stay here for the long term and you just stick with it and keep going and keep showing up and and enjoy your time and make friends, that this works. This blockchain is a beautiful thing. So there's some fun answers in there and some fun pictures, and I loved looking back at my favorite 2 posts, which obviously there's way more than the ones that I did. But I'm looking forward to seeing other people's 5 questions, especially to see like what were your favorite moments and what were your favorite posts that you've done.
So if I hear anybody say, "Oh, that Katrina, she's cute. She's a real 10," I'll correct them and say, "No, she's a 60."
For now.
Well, that's really awesome. And once again, folks, you do not have to be tagged in a challenge to do it. So there again, 5 questions. Write your opinion, and bam, you've got a good post.
No, because if I would have tagged him, he would have said, I don't want to do that.
Shut up, Mom. Go. Busy over here.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Katrina. Okay, the Hive, you are back up.
I'm here. Well, this post is the second post, or the follow-up to the post that I pimped out earlier, and it hits on the government and highlights a few things, or the things I see where government fails. Fails the people. Government works fine. It does everything that it wants to do. It makes profit, but it doesn't support the people that support it. I would say, as in the people who get there get elected by votes, and I think the voting method is messed up. And any part of the system, I think, is corrupt in some way or manipulated or by design, fails to support the people of the nation it governs. And I go through that post, and at the end, I relate it to Steam. And are we building the same system in Steam and Steam cryptocurrencies in general, or are we actually making any change at all?
Did you stop talking, or did you get cut off? It almost sounded like you got cut off.
Engine, the short answer, I think he did get cut off. I think it's a network issue. She's doing great, Shadows, and I imagine that Artemis is probably drifting in and out of a nap too, because she probably had a long day.
Okay, well, everybody go give the Hives post a little bit of love and a little thought. It's definitely a thought-provoking post, so always good to have those posts that make us think. That's fabulous. Okay, next up we have Eco Instant. What do you have for us, Eco?
Yeah, that last post by the Hive is actually still in my many tabs, waiting for careful analysis and a thoughtful comment.
Yeah, it's in my tabs too. So many tabs, so little time.
Some posts you just need more time. Some of these you could kind of, oh, nice photography. Yes, let me upload it. But, this type of philosophical stuff. Okay, and this is a post some of you have seen already. I'm also going to put this in here. This is my entry to the post that I shared this morning, which is Chibera's writing contest. This is my entry, and I usually don't write like this, but I actually I took my keyboard and I laid down and I closed my eyes and I as if I were writing. I don't know, it was kind of weird. So this is a fiction writing. I don't do a lot of this, and I got some really great responses. In fact, by some people in this very room, like this. Now it's kind of almost seems like it could be real, I guess, when I think about it, but it's not real. It's fiction. And this is just kind of an idea. If any of you are considering, please enter the Chibera contest. We want some more entries, and we've got this big upvote. We want to give you our upvotes, and I probably do a 2 or 3 after I've been encouraged by you guys and some other commenters that they like this. So maybe I will do another one, kind of a start to an adventure kind of type of story.
I've still got that Shabira post open in a tab, waiting there. I keep things open to remind me to do stuff because I really like the idea. I mean, the whole game on the blockchain thing. So I really like that, and yeah, I've been writing recently, so I think I can come up with something. I just got to sit down and do it. I got my other story, taking over my mind right now.
Fantastic! That's great to hear.
I have my pictures ready for my story. I just have to write the story.
Yes, look.
Yeah, it's funny, this game. So you are involved with the development of Shabira Echo Instant?
No, well, I am a rabid fan. I just think it's going to be really awesome, and I'm so excited about it that they made me a chat mod. So I just greet people in the Discord. I'm not a developer or anything, but along with some other people like Improv, we're hoping that our unabashed excitement will maybe give us a good word to participate in some of the world building, the storytelling, as that comes along in the development.
It's very nice. I'm definitely considering. There's a foundation, isn't there? Yes,
that's right.
So I want to maybe contribute to that, because this kind of idea is really, really good for people like me, who I used to play an online game, MUME. It's a Tolkien world text-based game where it's incredibly immersive, and of course you can be your character, and geez, I lost literal years of my life to that game, and so I've on and off through the years started playing again and then giving up, because every time I'd be earning gold in the game and thinking, wow, I'm getting ahead, and then I stopped playing and I realized, oh geez, none of that gold means anything to my real life. And yeah, so if this Shabira is successful, and really hope it is, it'll be somewhere where I can do what I love, being immersed in a different world, and the gold that I earn will actually mean something. So that's awesome.
Excellent. Yes, and that's the key, that these internal economies of items and rare drops and that sort of thing that we're used to with these games, they'll actually be connected to either an SMT or Steam. And there's actually some very exciting ideas economically. I'll just give you guys, I know that Ingenuity will like this. We're talking about requiring a burn, let's say an SMT and an SBD burn, for certain rare transformations, for example. So things like that, where it interacts with interesting ways with the blockchain, that like a burning an SPD would actually be good for the whole ecosystem, for example.
Yeah, and evolving your character is even cooler.
Right, yeah. Oh, hey, Jack. I love that
Hey, good morning.
tagline there.
All right, well, that is fantastic, and I do hope some of the writers in here, and we do have some creative writers, will get out there and do their story. That'll be awesome.
Thank you for sharing that.
That's Sasquatch.
If that doesn't motivate you guys, I don't know what will.
Well, we like that picture so much, we couldn't not share it. Okay, well, thank you so much.
What does that
Owen.
make you then? Is it like big something else or?
I have no idea, but that's all I could think of when I look at that picture.
Your big toe.
I'm a mom foot.
Oh, that is awesome. Okay, Mendel Sage, you're back up again. A new tag. Mom foot made me do it.
All right. So from writing to art, I've I do these mandalas every Monday, and I've recently decided to start trying to sort of, well, I need some background. Like with fractals, if you use fractals as tools to create art, often what you have to do is, or what you end up doing is searching the chaos of fractal maps and seeing what could possibly be used, and then you create your art that way, instead of going back, the way usually artists do it, have something in mind first and then go towards that goal. And I've been trying to now, with the mandalas, have people in mind to make gifts for them, and then try and actually go search the chaos for something specific, what makes me think of that person. Last week I did a gift for false idols, and with him I just thought of an eye, because I thought that would be an amazing mandala, and I found something cool, and it actually came out really well. And this week I was thinking of Snaky. Everybody knows Poetic Snake, and I've actually been looking for snakes for a long time in my fractals and haven't been able to find them. And then as you can see there, I finally did find at least something quite reptilian looking. And so that's it. That's Snaky's gift.
That's really awesome. I do like the mandalas. In fact, I do some of my own. They're not nearly as striking as yours, but I have fun with them. They're really awesome. Yours are incredible. Mine are not based on fractals. Yours are, so you've got a lot more depth to yours, and that's really cool.
Well, actually, any mandala has, well, I guess almost all depends really on the style, on what you put into it. But what usually ends up happening with mandalas is that they are fractal in a way, because all fractal means is repeating patterns and what's the word? Self-symmetry, I think. Like when you go smaller and then you find the similar patterns inside where you started out. So yeah, all mandalas are kind of fractal.
We used to have a toy when we was a kid that done that, called a kaleidoscope.
Oh yeah, I used to love kaleidoscopes. They're real.
Yeah, I love kaleidoscopes too. Yeah, in fact, that's what a lot of mine look like, are like kaleidoscope images rather than fractals. We can pull one up and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I can share a picture from my website, also inspired by kaleidoscopes.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Go for it.
Sorry, just grabbing the screenshot here. There it is.
Oh, love the colors in that. That's yeah, a lot of earthy colors there. That's fabulous.
I see seahorses.
Yes, that's what I love about fractals. You can see all sorts of things that I didn't see.
Some frogs. Tigers. There's all kinds of stuff in there, man. That's cool.
And that image there can be printed out at max resolution 1 meter by 1 meter. So there's like a lot of detail that you just can't see on the screen there.
Well, just as an example, I'm talking about, this is one of mine. I haven't actually posted this to Steam yet, but that's one of my favorites. I love the colors and such in that. I think it's really pretty.
What did you use to make
Good
that?
choice.
Paint Shop Pro, that's what I do everything with, Paint Shop Pro.
Oh man, I haven't heard Paint Shop Pro in over a decade. I used to use that before Photoshop. I used to use Paint Shop Pro because it was free. And yeah, wow, that's really nice, Kitty Girl.
Well, when I got Paint Shop Pro, it was about $100 in the days when Photoshop was costing way over $1,000. And Paint Shop Pro will do vector graphics. I actually had a Photoshop junkie. In fact, he was a Photoshop snob that didn't think anything but Photoshop. Photoshop was worth something and everything else was junk. But he saw me one day using Paint Shop Pro when I was creating vector graphics. He said, I paid over $1,000 for for Photoshop, and I had to go out and buy Adobe Illustrator to be able to do vector graphics. And here you are doing it for $100 program, and I said, yeah. So yeah, Paint Shop Pro all the way. Yeah.
I just can't think how how it could how Adobe used to cost over $1,000.
Well, it did. Like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. Yeah, Photoshop was costing over $1,000. Like for the professional version.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was this was in an office where we used, the graphic designers that had graphic design degrees were needing it, and yeah, it was over $1,000. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. We only had two. We had probably 30 full-blown Mac computers, and we had Photoshop on 2. We had Illustrator on all of them, but Photoshop was on 2.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing your mandala and also that image from your website, Mandel Sage. That is really awesome. And
Thank you.
okay, we need to give Bluefin Studios another few minutes here. What do you have for us, Bluefin?
So I'm sure you all remember a short while back, a couple of days ago, when Steemit was not, when it crashed. This is a little recap from one of the witness teams, Deranged, who I thought was here, but I guess he slipped out, and Coffee, who are the pair that run the Deranged Coffee Witness team. There were a ton of people who pulled together, witnesses left and right, who all pulled together and worked hard to fix the problem with Steemit. And it's just a little something that Coffee wrote on the issue that appeared. In one of the comments, I posted a link from somebody else that actually gives a real good accounting of exactly some of the details of what caused Steemit to go down. Engine, since you're here, can I ask, did you get 19.12 up and running yet, or is it still processing?
The replay right now. I'm about 60% of the way through it.
Still going through the replay? Yeah, it's taken forever, and I know the other witness is in here. It broke. Yeah, that's very true, Jack.
Jack's in here. It broke. Yeah.
Which it reminded me of the day when NASA talked about their probe that smashed into Mars, and it was because one half of the team was using meters and the other half was doing all their dimensions in feet. You know, the 19 dot whatever was doing things with one time frame, and the hard fork 20 was using a different time frame, and suddenly the two didn't work.
Yeah, it's definitely panic time when steam is the sound.
But it was kind of nice for all of us to get out and play and see our real families and say hi to the world around us for a change.
Well, the developers might be good at writing code, but some of them need to learn to tell the time.
Well, yeah, to tell the time, exactly. I think Jack can probably corroborate this, but what happened is like a bunch of the top 20s jumped in on the hard fork 20, and it wasn't even supposed to be going, and so the blockchain forked itself prior to when it was supposed to.
It forked itself?
It did! It literally did!
In more ways
and
than
so,
one.
So rules that weren't as supposed to be active yet were being recognized, and there's like, whoa, wait, what the hell just happened? You know, kind of thing.
Right, which set up the conflict between the last 6 hours of any upvote.
Yeah, exactly. 12 hours.
Oh yeah, sorry, 12 hours. Yep.
New hard fork, you know, you can combat it within the last 12 hours. You know, if somebody decides they want to come and downvote you at 6 days, 11 hours, and 50 minutes, you know, you still got that 12 hours to try and recuperate that.
Yeah, it just went and forked itself.
Awesome.
Oh, that's good.
Everybody, I'd just like to say good night. I've got to go. My wife has arrived home. Yeah.
Quick, before she finds out that you use Steam It.
Too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay.
Adios.
Good night, guys. It was a great show.
Well, thank you for bringing this post up, Bluefin, because the witnesses do so much, and we would have no blockchain if it weren't for them, so they deserve a little bit of time in the sun. That is awesome.
Speaking of blockchains, can I go off topic just for a minute? I've seen a couple
Of
today.
course.
I don't know if
I'm moving things along a little faster than this morning, so you got.
Yeah, but DLive, for those that are going to be, you know, they're big DLive fans, they are switching to a different blockchain. Yes, we're talking about DLive right now, Eco. They're switching to what is that blockchain called?
Lino.
Yeah, Lino.
And for all those of you that were here earlier, Engine, on time, Engine.
My bad.
I'm just teasing.
There's that.
There's the post about it for anyone who wants to read it.
Great
also
commentary.
There's also another blockchain that looks like a sister of Steam. It's called Weku. Am I right? Anybody?
Yeah,
Weku,
I think
Weku.
I think that if I'm not mistaken, that looks like it's a software fork off of Steam, just like wellshares.io.
It may be.
It's actually technically considered a clone, and there are some differences, but it's a clone of Steemit.
A clone instead of a fork. Okay, gotcha.
A fork would give all of us Steam power, or Weku power, or whatever. But a clone can not give us anything.
It's based on the same. What's the word I'm looking for?
Code, the open source code.
Yeah, it's the same code.
Yeah. I just can't remember what it was called.
They stripped the
condenser.
The code down. Yeah,
repository.
There's repository.
Suppository? What?
Repository.
What's it called? Wacko, Woko, Wico?
Wiku, Wiku.
Wiku. Yuku, Aiku, Wiku.
Domo arigato, Mr. Abato.
All right, so whaleshares.io is definitely a software fork off of the Steam blockchain, but this Wiku.io is just a clone. Okay, cool. Appreciate your clearing that up. So what else did you want to say about DLive, Ingenuity? Or Ingenuity?
I was curious if they're switching. I mean, I didn't read the post, and I mean, I read it, but it didn't say anything about people that have stuff posted already, and it's posting to Steam it. Are they? How will that work with the rewards? I mean, is it just once they transfer over there, then bam, everything cuts off, and
They didn't say.
they'll still roll through with the payouts?
So currently our posts on Steam have a link to the DLive platform, and they,
Yes.
according to what they're saying in the Discord, those will be honored. Okay, so they'll map those. I mean, it shouldn't move, I guess I should say. I don't know what they're doing because it appears that it'll be taking place in 5 days. So I thought it would have been smart if they did 7 days. That way it would, it would give 7 days for no one to make a post. So I don't know what happens if you made one tonight, what would happen, or if that's even an option.
I'm making one right now.
Oh, right.
I wouldn't think it
Okay.
would change. I mean, so then do we get
We will see.
what's it called? Lino rewards then? I mean, is it still gonna post to Steam it, or is it gonna?
Well, if they're moving over the blockchain.
On Lino, or what? If they're out, they're leaving.
So
Well, it would only make sense if they leave the blockchain. That means that. Now, I don't know. I'm not real technical.
I mean,
is
is anybody
but if they
checking
leave the
how
blockchain, this stuff ain't going to be on the blockchain that you post to DLive.
I mean,
Or
are they
maybe it won't be.
powering down and leaving, or are they just
They're
Okay.
leaving.
tech over
So remember, Sarge, that your DLive videos, if you have any, are on Steemit, and what Steemit has on the blockchain is a link to DLive. And those are centralized servers. They always have been. So they have said that they will continue to host all the videos that are up. Anyone who's verified will be verified over there. And they want us to go and make accounts on their new site. They're going to give us 100 free points, Lino points, which have at this moment no cash value. And the site sounds like Twitch. So you're going to be able to tip. You're going to be able to pay people your points that they give you. And in the future, not now, but in the future, there will be an inflation-based rewards pool that will be distributed based on tips. So instead of upvotes, it'll be tips. So it basically seems like it's going to be great for people with big followings from other platforms. But, it's not going to be great for anybody who's just making videos and doesn't have any friends yet.
Well, now, I have gone to DLive when a couple of streams were up, like Carrie Allen stuff. I tried to get in there a couple of times. And I saw a tipping feature and a gifting feature on DLive the way it was. I don't understand why they're having to go to this other blockchain to get those features.
They don't like the way.
Go ahead.
No, they just, and I skimmed it, evidently not as deep as Eco Instant did, but I did skim it. One of the things they mentioned was they don't like how Steam works. And they did refer to, the whale issue, they got the stake, so they call the shots. And they're saying that, content creators, a lot of them don't have a chance unless they're, and I'm putting this into my words, unless they're a member of a circle jerk or they're getting upvoted, which, given. That's, it's just fine. But they said they don't like that. So I guess they're just going over here thinking it's greener pastures. That's what I gathered from reading the post. And, hey, good luck to them, I hope.
So another important point to notice is that Lino is a project that seems like I think the Lino project was launched by the DLive founders. So whatever's happening was maybe a secret. It was planned. I mean, this is the Lino is DLive, and so they're just kind of going home to their new server blockchain.
So they weren't making enough money over here, or I'm confused, really.
And yeah, I guess for all the rest,
it all, right?
the comment
That's
section
what
is
I
a
mean.
lot of fun. I would encourage everybody to, how our good Steamians can be in the comment sections.
Let's go spam the hell out that damn comment section. not in a bad way, just in a funny way. Maybe it'll be epic, like, put Ned's hair on everything. Put DLive on everything. No, but I was watching a interview and by the founder of BitTube. If you haven't checked it out, I would highly suggest checking it out. It's bit.tube. No, I'm not an affiliate of that company. I live in a little apartment and don't make no money. But anyway, he was talking about, he had approached DTube, DLive, Steam, everybody, and nobody wanted to work with him on this BitTube. So he just did his own thing. And I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it works real good. I've used it. I'm getting ready to upload a video to it and try that out.
Vim.org.
It's just BIT period TUBE, BitTube, but with the period between the bit and the tube. And it's it's pretty good. I think they're the only contender. DLive is never going to be a contender unless they up their game a little bit to YouTube. But if there's a contender out there, it's BitTube. Definitely. Ease of use. You don't get a lot of drop frames. I mean, it runs really, really good. Streams real good. It's nice.
You seen Viewly, Sarge?
No, I haven't seen that. I don't get out much.
Check that out. Something Furion was working on.
Yeah, I haven't checked. I'll go check that out. But I'm really tickled about this BitTube thing. I like it. It's pretty good.
Okay, well, that was an interesting diversion, and I really appreciate all the information. No, it was good. It was good that we talked about this, definitely. I'm glad you brought it up, Engine, and Eco Instant. Appreciate all of the good info that you had to share, because it sounds like you've done a lot more reading about it than we have.
Since this is
awesome.
Streaming live on DLive and all.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. Interesting point. Oh, wow.
To the madness, kitty.
Okie doke. So, have you got a post to share, Engine, or was that the reason you went back in the queue, was to talk about DLive?
So is this BitTube a whole separate thing, or what?
Yeah, they have their own blockchain and everything. They're like their own company. They're their own thing. They have their own blockchain. It's like what DLive is doing with Lino. It's its own blockchain. It's not affiliated with Steam or anybody for that matter. They're just doing their own thing with their own blockchain.
And Vim is actually on the blockchain? VIMM?
Yes, we'll have to check out their Steemit account. According to Johnny Clearwater, it's in alpha, and he thinks this is the perfect time for them to explode, because they may not be as ready as they could have been before launch, but maybe this is their opportunity.
I was over there a couple of weeks ago, and they had like 2 people in the whole thing. I was like, okay, well, let's watch this for a little bit, see what happens. But there's my post. It's basically me thanking Papa Pepper for sending me a T-shirt, which was really cool of him, I thought, because yeah, we talked about it when we was down in Georgia, because he had a Steam shirt, and I was like, hey man, that's a pretty cool shirt. Where'd you get it? And he was like, blah blah blah, and I was like, cool, blah blah blah, and he's like, well, blah 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 blah, and I said blah 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 and blah 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 blah, and I got a shirt. So thanks, Papa Crusher. And what really caught me is when he sent it to me, he put on there ship to Lord Ingenuity. So, which is, it's a good play on the other fun things we do around the Steam community. The Lord part coming from the Lord of Darkness that I play on, Carrie's Playhouse on Fridays, and also doing the voice acting for Steam Monsters themselves. So that was pretty neat to see that in the mail. And what show? Well, I think I was on. Was that Monday? I got that. I was on the show with Artemis. I know Artemis was on the show. I don't know who else was there.
You were talking to me on the phone.
Was that it? And I was like, hey, I got a package.
Yeah. And you were like, the Lord of Darkness, who sent me something? I'm like, well, obviously somebody from Steam.
And I didn't know who it was because it came from Iowa, and I'm like, I don't know anybody. Wait, I know people in Iowa, but yeah, nobody from Steam. Or maybe I do. But yeah, Pop Crusher, hold it down. He's my bodyguard, by the way. So you got something to say, you say it to him.
That's why I addressed you as your lordship in text earlier today.
Oh, good stuff, man.
I did. I wear it.
I got a fidget cube from Australia.
Really?
Yeah. Sapphic sent it to me. She sent me a fidget cube.
I remember that. That was when I first heard of Sapphic, I think. That was a while ago, huh? That was before she became a witness.
Oh yeah, she's all about Steam now. Her and Underground Committee Witness.
Okay.
Restarting Discord. Okay, Mountain Mama. You follow me. Follow. I'm sorry. Woo! Been waiting to see that shit. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, so
it's not shit.
I got on it finally. Yeah, I gotcha. Finally got over to Tune. It's been on my list of things to do for like 3 weeks longer. I'm not sure. I don't actually have a list because if I start writing down a list, I get overwhelmed. So I just do things when I think of them and I'm ready to do them. And I finally got my Gratitude album on Tune, and this isn't anything like the stuff I've been putting up for open mic. It's something I recorded when my life revolved around yoga for the most part. But there's some pretty songs and mantras, some that are ancient, like the Gayatri mantra and Om Namah Shivaya, but I put that to different music than you usually hear if anybody listens to mantra. And then some of the songs are original as well. Yeah, so you can go check out my music on Tune. There's also a whole bunch of other artists that are on Tune that I've listed in that post. And it's not an exhaustive list at all, but those were the ones that I could think of and put in there.
Now I have to go follow you.
Without warning. I went and listened to them I think I made. Did I make a playlist? It's on my list of things to do over here, which is a pretty long list to make a playlist for you.
I don't know if you have yet or not, but I'm not worried about it. I'm sure your list is longer than the one in my head.
Are we supposed to be making playlists of other people's stuff? Is that how
Oh
that
no,
works?
you don't have to. I just do it to somebody goes to my profile and they see what playlists I have, and it helps people out. Some people when you set like different, how you got different payouts on different songs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Like all mine are set to 50. If somebody puts it in there, I'll split it with them. Kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what mine
Yeah,
is.
I did that too.
And, yeah, so whatever theirs is, even if I don't get a piece, I'll still help promote them. Least I can do.
Oh Lord, I just got a FOMO. I'm gonna have to go tune now.
Well, Katrina, you shared the link to this album one night in the Alliance at my request, and I went over to iTunes and did a preview of the album, and I love it. And I put it on my wish list, and next time I'm out at a real fast Wi-Fi hotspot, I'm going to download it. I'm going to buy it.
Oh, so peaceful, that album there.
Well, that is sweet, Kitty girl. Thank you. You're welcome to buy it on iTunes or just listen to it for free on Tune. At this point, I either way works for me. But I wanted to.
I don't mind. To me, I like supporting artists, and if you've got it on iTunes, I'm happy to buy it. Yeah, that's wonderful. It's a fantastic album. The previews, I loved it.
Thank you. Yeah, and whenever it's possible to support artists, it is always appreciated.
Okay, and I noticed a while ago when we were talking about D-Live that Eco Instant and Sarge have won the SBI if you're both in the chat.
Ooh, congrats.
I am.
And you're still here. Well, congratulations to you both. You got a share of SBI. Wonderful.
Thank you ever so much for that. It's so nice.
Yay.
Well, definitely appreciate your sharing this music, Katrina. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, next on the list, Resonul Vibes. You're up. What do you have for us?
Hello. This is a musing post, and the question is, what are some tips that you would like to give someone who just started his estimate career? As you know, when someone joins estimate, it takes some time to understand everything. If he or she gets some guideline, it will be easier for her estimate journey. So I just give some guideline here, as I also struggle when I started my estimate journey. So I describe everything in detail in my post. Just I'm saying the heading here: make quality content, help others, focus on your strength. I think focus on your strength is very important. If you're good at speaking or you're comfortable on camera, you can make video and upload that YouTube. You can make a podcast or music, upload that on this sound, and there are a lot of options you can choose. The next thing, join the community and participate in the contest. At the beginning of my estimate journey, I joined Discord channel, but I was not very active here. I think that was my mistake. I should have more active on Discord channel. That I learned throughout my journey. And another thing, participate in the contest. If you participate in a contest, you can learn something from it. If you win, that's a good thing. If you don't win, no worries. Because every time you participate in a contest, you can learn something from it, and that helps you to grow. Last but not least, keep learning. That I'm doing right now. I'm learning every day. try to learn new things, and that's how I think everyone can grow on Steemit. That's it. Thank you.
Another wonderful positive post, absolutely. And I've said many, many years ago that the day I stop learning is the day I die. I absolutely love learning, and I think it's good for us to keep learning and growing.
You makes a good point there that while like it might not be economically benefit, it's always got that personal benefit where you do learn about other people and probably more so about yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, Rez. Appreciate your coming back in here this evening and sharing another one of your positive posts. That's awesome. And up next is Snook. What kind of positivity have you got for us?
Actually, this is Enchanted Spirits post. And she had to answer a question, what does it mean to be a light worker? And yeah, I do too. And this post is very interesting, the take, how it starts and how it ends, and what she found out through research and stuff. I would highly recommend reading it. I think it's one of those you might start to glance over, but then you'd end up going back at the top and rereading everything for all the information and the way, the take on what light worker really means, and not in the derogatory sense of what you would think it would mean. So, and I think we have a lot of light workers that are on Steemit, so you might relate to it also.
I know we do have a lot of light workers on Steemit, and it's rather interesting, but just last night I read a post by somebody else that was talking about light workers. So this must be a prompt that's coming up somewhere where,
Yeah, the tribe
yeah.
Steemit. I'm not in it, but obviously she must be.
Yeah, this was one of the people in Steemit bloggers that wrote about it, but they must also be in the same server with Enchanted Spirit. That's fantastic. Yeah, and it looks like a wonderful in-depth post. I'm anxious to read this one. Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you, Snook.
You're welcome.
And then up next is Eco Instant. What have you got for us?
Howdy, guys. Did I have a feeling you guys mentioned deranged witnesses? Did he drop a post about surpassing Google before I came in?
Yes, he did. Yes, we actually talked about it in quite the depth, and we were very grateful to get the info.
Good. Yes, I noticed that. That was the post I was going to share. Before Snook pinged me, you guys must have talked about it. So that was the post. So that was that was me.
Okay, well, if you would like to say a few words about it, you're welcome to do so. We did talk about it in pretty good depth, though, but yeah, I'd love to hear your take on it if you have anything to add.
Well, I don't know what I have to add. I think the idea is, I mean, I suggest in the comment that he get the D Live delegation. I mean, I definitely think that I'm going to see if I can do some. I just started with this data analysis. I'd really like to do some because I have a feeling that surpassing Google onboarded more users than D Live did. Just he's done so much. And then guiding them as well. I think that he's done a lot for the platform, more than even people think. So yeah, he's done a lot, but I think he's done more than some of these decentralized applications even have done for the platform.
And for particularly for some of the members who have so little.
Right, for the weakest members, and in some of the countries where Steam can really make a difference. Not that I think the power of Steam has a lot of potential all around the world, but obviously, when you can actually do something with $1 a day, it's going to be that much more powerful.
Exactly.
Well, I definitely appreciate your thinking about sharing that post and giving some support to Surpassing Google. That's wonderful. So thank you, Eco, for checking in on that. Okay, Ingenuity, you're up again.
Couple shows coming. More shows. Gotta love the shows. I really, if I could make money just doing shows most of the time, that's all I would do, because I have so much fun talking to y'all and interacting and loving on you and hating other people with you, and you know how it goes. There is a show tomorrow. We started it last week on NBC Mips, and it seemed that people, there was pretty good response to it. We bring in a witness or two. Like last week we had Sapphic, and this week we're gonna have Coffee on there. I don't know if Deranged will be able to make it or not, but yes, that will be on NBC Mips. I believe that is pinned somewhere here in the Rambo for different Discords and whatnot, if you're not over there already. That will be at 4 my time. It's 5 Eastern, 9 UTC. It'll be good stuff. You'll like it. And we are in the process of doing another show too that she touched on in there. We have no idea what the name is, but Snook made a picture for it while we were playing around and talking about the show and brainstorming names and stuff. That Wolf and the Eagle earlier, that was really awesome. So, but for now it's just a variety show, and next week Katrina will be our live performer, so be sure to tune in. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Wednesdays. We haven't completely decided on the time and everything yet, but it'll be awesome. And if you just like to hear me shoot shit, make sure you stop in tomorrow here at 2 p.m. Eastern, 6 UTC time for Words with Witchy. Thank you very much.
1 o'clock, right, tomorrow?
Yes, 1 Central.
Thank
you. Yes, you can catch it on D Live. It's just audio. There's no fancy video stuff because my connection sucks. Maybe one of these times Snook will do like a split screen with me if I can get her to be like the guest co-host. And you can see my face. I can mean mug you. But yeah, yes, it'll be on D Live. Which I'm kind of curious of. Collectively at the Ramble, do we all kind of need to get together and say, hey, we want to stream here, or what? Speaking of all these shows,
but and then with her in the hospital, all drugged up, I didn't want to send her the link because I didn't. I mean, she's just literally got me like in her room. So
she read about it. She'll we'll talk. We're gonna. I told her we would give her 3 hours. She should be awake around, yeah.
Oh,
when they.
I was really good and didn't send her the link. Oh my God, you sent it to her?
No. I sent her the Google Doc that Sarge does and told her to let me know what she thinks.
Oh, okay. Here I was being so good.
Snook, we could practice on some other channel. I'll be your guinea pig. We'll figure something out.
I mean, if we stay on Steam, wouldn't Vim be like the best option? Just thinking out loud
we
here.
could try Vim. DTube has streaming now too. I've heard it's.
I really
let's try Vim.
Yeah, we can try Vim. I really don't want to try DTube.
We have tried DTube several times in the past.
Well, that whole 25% sure bothers me.
Well, if I have to say, I don't like DTube. They're cock-a-doo-doo.
So we're all in agreement. Fire DTube.
Yeah. So Vim looks like we need to play around with.
But yeah, maybe Shadow will want to, do it on BitTube, or maybe she'll want to follow D Live over to wherever.
So can I ask, in the interest of, did Katrina go with her last bit? And
no, she's still up in the queue to be next.
Okay. And did you ask if those present were present to win the SBI?
Yes, and they both were. So Sarge and Eco Instant both won a share of SBI.
Awesome. I'm sorry for interrupting, but the Discord's been wonky. I'm just trying to keep all the notes so I can send them to
Yeah, you're
our
just
friend.
making somebody that's all drugged up and should be sleeping not sleep, right? Is that
Or
what I'm
somebody
hearing?
who's all drugged up and should be asleep has been pestering me for these cancers.
Oh, gosh.
Why does that not surprise me? Because she knows I would tell her to go to sleep.
Right? And then the doctor said, if it's not too much trouble, could I just check your BP just one more time?
And she's like,
Just
I'm
one
listening
more
to
time.
my show. It's my show. Go away.
I'm teasing. Yeah, I'm teasing. Anyway, all right. I've got all the notes caught up, I think.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you, Engine, for all the heads up on your shows coming up. And Katrina Ariel, you're back up again. And you were the last person in the queue, so if there's anybody holding out, you better put your icon in.
I just saw the picture and I was like, God, that looks like a Yedna post.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, when did Katrina go to Navarre?
I was just like, wow, you dyed your hair.
That is a gorgeous scene.
Are we just supposed to, guess?
Just watch.
Sorry. You're talking and pushing the wrong button. Yeah, the Yidnith had just posted this, and I think this is the story of the hike that went where they got lost and they went through like mud and nettles and carrying the harp. It's a really good post. I haven't read it in depth yet, but the parts that I've read are of course amazing because it's Yidnith, and yes, there is some music in there and some humor. So yeah, support her as you can, and she always brings me on an amazing adventure. I love this woman, and she also inspired the title of the open mic entry this week as well.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Trudging through mud and nettles, carrying a harp. Oh, wow. And I sit on my sofa and I draft my post. She's out there in the field like that. Oh, my goodness. So, Snook, you want to explain what that is? Is that a picture from her post?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
her
hadn't scanned down
hiding.
through her post yet.
That's her hiding
She's
behind
so
a...
playful.
It's a ancient megalithic prehistoric hunk of monolithic stone.
It's stuff that she's hiding behind.
It's been carved.
Ancient stone.
Yeah, thousands of years ago, those carvings actually were carved in there.
Where demons were born. Look at the claw marks.
Yeah, the pictures in her posts are just incredible. It's amazing. I would love to tromp through that countryside sometime. It would be awesome.
It's a rock and it's Stonehenge being crushed by darts.
Snap.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Katrina. Especially since Yednith isn't here today, it's awesome that somebody's thinking of her and pulling up one of her posts. Okay, so Pita Raven, you're back up again.
Hey, so I thought I'd just quickly share a post from the Natural Medicine crew, which obviously I am part of. I'll pop the link in. And it's so the river flows who I guess, started the group, started the channel, does these interview sessions. And this one's about one of our, she's actually one of our moderators, actually. And I had actually no idea she does like Tai Chi and whatnot. So I haven't actually read this yet. I'm fascinated to read it. I've had some wonderful conversations with the Tree of Life, which is the person who's being interviewed. I've been doing like Tai Chi and Qigong for like over 20 years and stuff. So I had no idea that she does all this stuff. So I'm fascinated to read this. And yeah, there's some really interesting things going on in that little group. Like last week I shared there's sort of a conversation around, mental health and anxiety. So there's, as much as there is people sharing posts around, their favorite flowers and herbs and things like that. And there's also a lot of like people doing homesteading and all that off-grid stuff, which is awesome. And actual sort of natural medicinal cures and all that kind of stuff. But these interviews with people, there's some really interesting people in that group. So I'm quite fascinated. And the reason I thought I'd share it is because we are thinking of doing a show, and I'm the one who's responsible for chasing up the logistics of it. A show, maybe something like what we do here, but more of like something across between interviews and sharing posts and that kind of thing. So there's some really interesting crew in that crew, and obviously they're dotted around the Alliance and all those other communities in this community as well. So yeah, that's it. Ingenuity. That's the shit right there.
Well, there is another show here in the Steam at Ramble that takes place on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock that is a little bit more of interviewing people and sharing posts. It's rather interesting, called the Curation Corner. But yours probably would have a different focus. It would focus on natural medicine and such.
Yeah, that's my thoughts. Like, we're really kind of brainstorming what it is at the moment, and my sort of take is that it would definitely be focused more on, like, it'd be a natural medicine show, and the idea would be to even have people like coming into the conversation and going, oh, maybe what would you do about this, or how would you do this, or something like that. And yes, not just pot.
Well, you're definitely welcome if you wish to post a link to that Discord here in the chat. If anybody's interested, they can click and join it. If you do, though, please try to make it a non-expiring link, and then I can add it to my list.
Okay, I'll work out how to do that.
Yeah, I don't like having links on my list and then have them expire in a week or two, I like keeping non-expiring links on here. Well, that's
Cool.
really awesome. Well, Pito Raven was the last person in the queue, so if anyone else is holding out, now's the time to speak or you lose your chance. Okay, well, let's go ahead and close out the show. Want to thank everyone for joining us on Pimp Your Post Thursday. We've had quite a bunch of interesting posts tonight. I do hope everyone will have them open in their browser so we can go give them some love and read them at our leisure. Thank you for joining us, and thank you very much to Snook and to Bluefin and to Sarge for helping me out with the queue and the streaming and the list of posts and all that such. So until next time, remember what Shadows Pub always tells us, it's all about community. And goodbye, Wilma.
Night, Wilma.
Hi, Johnny boy.